Hey, good evening, USA, and happy Fourth of July weekend to everyone that's in the military for their service. Thank you very much, and and of course, I hope everybody in in Canada, USA, international, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens is doing all right. Hope hope y'all having hope y'all had a great weekend. And of course you're rocking with the 273rd episode along with um myself included of this milestone show right here off the Meet Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast, live and direct from StreamYard alongside with YouTube. And of course, myself is the Instagram live feed. So of course be sure to turn on your notifications so you could find out when each episode is going to be dropping on each streaming platform, which I will talk about in a couple of minutes at the end of the show. And you know, in the meantime, why don't you just go ahead and grab that subscribe button for me on the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555, where you see all the New York episodes on there, and and tap the noni bell along with alerts so you can be reminded of when the live stream of the podcast recording episodes is going to start. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes and the topics included. Make sure you listen, stream, watch the episodes in case you miss any of them whatsoever. Don't worry. Download the episodes, share the videos, share the episodes along with everyone else that listens to podcast shows. And of course, be sure to tell a friend to another friend, and I'll handle the rest at the end of the show. So, without further ado, we're gonna get into a little thing that I like to call. Hold on a second. I like to get into a little thing that I like to call. Hold on a second. Wrong thing. Mental health check-in, man. Let's get into it right here. We got two topics to talk about in a mental health check-in segment right here. So let's get into it right here. Okay. Okay, here we go. First and foremost, how am I feeling mentally, physically, and spiritually, you ask? Overall, mentally, physically, and spiritually, overall, even though it's been a little bit of an up and down thing. Um, but at the same time, I am hanging in there. And in the meantime, let's get into the topic, mental health related. Um, let's see. And one of the main topics, I never heard this before, but we're gonna be talking about psychotherapy. All right, so psychotherapy. So let's get into what it is right here, and I'll just break it all down here. Psychotherapy, sometimes called talk therapy, refers to a variety of treatments that aim to help a person identify and change troubling emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Most psychotherapy takes place when a licensed mental health professional and a patient meet one on one or with other patients in a group setting. You might seek out psychotherapy for many reasons, including the following: dealing with severe or long term stress from a job or family situation, the loss of a loved one, or a relationship or family problems. Having symptoms with no physical explanation, such as changes in sleep or appetite, low energy level, lack of interest or pleasure in activities you once enjoyed, persistent irritability, excessive worry, or a sense of discouragement or hopelessness that won't go away. A healthcare provider suspecting you have or diagnosing you with a mental disorder that is interfering with your life. Supporting a family member or child who has been diagnosed with a condition affecting their mental health. First, being examined by a healthcare provider can help ensure that there is no physical issue that would explain symptoms. This step is important because sometimes symptoms like a change in mood or trouble concentrating are due to a medical condition. Psychotherapy and other treatment options. Of course, psychotherapy can be used as an alternative to or alongside medication and other treatment options. Choosing the right treatment plan should be based on a person's individual needs and medical situation and occur under the guidance of a mental health professional. Even when medication relieve symptoms, psychotherapy can help a person address specific issues. These might include self defeating ways of thinking, irrational fears, problems interacting with other people, or difficulty coping with situations at home, school, or work. Elements of psychotherapy. A variety of psychotherapies and interventions have shown effectiveness in treating mental health disorders. Sometimes, often, the type of treatment is tailored to the specific disorder. For example, the treatment approach for someone who has obsessive compulsive disorder, also known as OCD, is different than the approach for someone who has bipolar disorder. Therapists may use one primary approach or incorporate other elements depending on their training, the disorder being treated, and the needs of the person receiving treatment. Elements of psychotherapy can include helping a person become aware of automatic ways of thinking that are inaccurate or harmful. Um, and an example would be having a low opinion of their abilities and then finding ways to question those thoughts, understand how the thoughts affect their emotions and behavior, and change self-defeating patterns. And an approach known as cognitive behavioral therapy, identifying ways to cope with stress and developing specific problem solving strategies, examining a person's interactions with others, and teaching social and communication skills, applying mindfulness and relaxation techniques such as meditation and breathing exercises, using exposure therapy for people with anxiety disorders, in which a person spends brief periods in a supportive environment, learning to tolerate the distress caused by certain items, ideas, or imagined scenes until over time the fear associated with those things dissipates, tracking emotions and behaviors to raise awareness of their impact on each other, using supportive counseling to help a person explore troubling issues and receive emotional support, creating a safety plan to help a person who has thoughts of self harm or suicide recognize warning signs and use coping strategies such as contacting friends, family, or emergency personnel. Um, yeah. Let's see. Personnel. Let's see. Wait. Note that there are many different types of psychotherapy. Therapies are often variations of an established approach, such as CBT. There is no formal approval process for psychotherapies like there is for medications by the US Food and Drug Administration. However, for many therapies, research involving large numbers of patients has provided evidence that the treatment is effective. These evidence based therapies have been shown to reduce symptoms of depression, anxiety, and other mental disorders. Um, NIMH's health topic pages list some of the evidence based therapies used to treat specific disorders. Okay, so what to look for in a therapist? So, therapists have different professional backgrounds and specialties. This section and the next have information that can help you find out about a therapist's credentials and find resources for locating therapists. The approach a therapist uses depends on the disorder being treated and the training and experience of that therapist. Therapists may combine and adapt elements of different approaches. Once you have identified one or more possible therapists, a preliminary conversation can help you understand how treatment will proceed and decide if you feel comfortable with the therapist. Um, report um, uh, rapport and trust are essential. Discussions in therapy are deeply personal, and it's important that you feel comfortable with a therapist and have confidence in their expertise. These preliminary conversations may happen in person, by phone, or virtually. Considering trying to get answers to the following questions: what are the credentials and experience of the therapist? Do they have a specialty? What approach will the therapist take to help you? Do they practice a particular type of therapy? What is the rationale for the therapy and its evidence based? Okay. Does a therapist have experience in diagnosing and treating the age group, um, like a child, and the specific condition for which treatment is being sought? If the patient is a child, how will parents or caregivers be involved in treatment? That's a good question. And yes. Um, let me see. Where was I? Yes. So, what are the goals of therapy? Does the therapist recommend a specific time frame or number of sessions? How will progress be assessed? And what happens if you or the therapist feel you aren't starting to improve? Are medications an option? Is this therapist able to prescribe medications? Are meetings confidential? How is confidentiality assured? Are there limits to confidentiality? Finding a therapist, yes, it's not easy, but listen to this. Many of the professionals offer psychotherapy. Examples include psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, counselors, and psychiatric nurses. Information on providers' credentials is available from the National Alliance on Mental Illness. In addition, you can find resources to find a therapist on the NIMH's Help for Mental Illnesses webpage. So you can check that out. Your health insurance provider may have a list of mental health professionals participating in your plan. Other resources on the Help for Mental Illnesses webpage can help you look for reduced cost health services. When talking with a prospective therapist, ask about treatment fees, whether the therapist participates in insurance plans, and whether there is a sliding scale for fees according to income. The following professional organizations have directories or locators on their websites for mental health care professionals, and of course, these things are on a website that I'm using, which is www.nimh.org. nih.gov/health topics, psychotherapies, and all the above. So you can check that out for yourself. So you can check it out too. So um so the list includes Academy of Cognitive and Behavioral Therapy, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, American Association for um, Geriatric Psychiatry, American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy, American Board of Clinical Social Work, American Board of Professional Psychology, American Psychiatric Association, American Psychological Association, Association for Behavioral and Cognitive Therapies, National Association of Social Workers, National Register of Health Service Psychologists, Psychology Today, Society of Clinical Psychology. National advocacy organizations provide information on a mental health professional and some of the practitioner locators on their websites, which includes in the example anxiety and depression, Association of America, Attention Deficit Disorder Association, Children's and Adults with Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance, International OCD Foundation, Mental Health America, National Alliance on Mental Illness. NIMH does not evaluate the professional qualifications and competencies of individual practitioners listed on these websites. These resources are provided for informational purposes only. They are not comprehensive lists, and an organization's inclusion does not constitute an endorsement by NIMH. The National Institute of Health, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, or the U.S. government. University or medical school affiliated programs may offer treatment options, including training clinics. Search the website of local university health centers for their psychiatry or psychology departments. You can also go to your state or county government websites and search for the health department for information on mental health related programs within your state. The goal of therapy is to gain relief from symptoms, maintain or improve daily functioning, and improve quality of life. If you have been in therapy for what feels like a reasonable amount of time and are not getting better, talk to your therapist or explore other mental health professionals or approaches. We have digital health options. So the telephone, internet, mobile devices have created new opportunities to provide more readily available and accessible treatment, including in areas where mental health professionals may not be physically available. Some of these approaches involve a therapist providing help at a distance. Still, others, such as web based programs and mobile apps, are designed to provide immediate information and feedback in the absence of a therapist. For an overview, see NIMH's Technology and the Future of Mental Health Treatment webpage. Yes, so there it is. There it is right there, though. Of course, on the website that I'm using right now, you can check out for federal resources, health hotlines. Let me just go over the federal resources. So, Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality. This agency offers resources and information about healthcare, including information on effectiveness research. Um, Behavioral Health Treatment and Services, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration provides information about treatment options and links to treatment service locators. Um, Hold on, let me address some stuff here, man. Hold on a minute. Um, what is this? What is this? Um, Wait a minute. Tips for talking with a healthcare provider about your mental health. This fact sheet provides 5 tips to help prepare and guide you to talk to your healthcare provider about your mental health and get the most out of your visit. And of course, it's also available in Espanol. Um, and of course, the same goes with my mental health. Do I need help? This fact sheet provides information on assessing your mental health and determining if you need help. It offers examples of mild and severe symptoms and self care activities and options for professional help. And it's also available in Espanol. And also, children and mental health, is this just a stage? This fact sheet provides information on children's mental health, including how to assess your child's behavior, when to seek help, first steps for parents, treatment options, and factors to consider when choosing a mental health professional. Also available in Espanol as well. Let's see what else. All right, so National Library of Medicine's PubMed, to read in depth research on therapies for mental health disorders. Use the PubMed database of medical literature to search for articles by topic. And of course, you might want to write this down on a piece of paper, your sticky notes, or your notepad, or text it to yourself. This here are some health hotlines. Um, Starting with 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. The Lifeline provides free and confidential emotional support to people in suicidal crisis or emotional distress 24 hours a day, 7 days a week across the United States. You can call or text 988 to connect with a trained crisis counselor. And of course, support is also available via live chat at the website 988lifeline.org. That's www.988lifeline.org. And of course, it's available in Espanol as well. So, wait. All right. Disaster distress helpline. People affected by any disaster or tragedy can call this helpline, sponsored by SAMHSA, to receive immediate counseling. You can call or text 1-800-985-5990 to connect with a trained professional from the closest crisis counseling center within the network. Veterans Crisis Hotline. This helpline is free, confidential resource for veterans of all ages and circumstances. You can call 1-800-273-8255 and press 1, or and text 838-255, or chat online to connect with 24/7 support. And of course, you can learn more NIH health information lines as well. So there you have it right there. And another thing I want to touch base on in this mental health check-in segment is I came across something that I never heard of before. And I'm pretty sure I don't know if I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with meditation and yoga, right? There is this thing called walking meditation. All right. So there's this thing called walking meditation. Let me just break it down right here. And this is from headspace.com. All right. So let's start this off here. So the last time you walked alone in the city, your neighborhood, the local park, or a remote hiking trail, where was your mind at? Did you make a phone call? Were you listening to some music or a podcast? Or maybe you were lost in thought. When we're when we're outside, it's almost second nature for our legs to be moving while our attention is somewhere else. A walking meditation, for those of you who may not know what that is, I'll I'll break it down for you. So a walking meditation is designed to bring your body and mind in sync while we're out and about. And if you don't like to sit and close the eyes to meditate, this is a great alternative that still trains the mind in awareness. Here's some key takeaways here. Walking meditation helps us feel less distracted by thoughts and allows us to enjoy our stroll, our stroll more. We focus on our stride in a walking meditation, like how we focus on our breath in a second, no, excuse me, in a seated meditation. We can practice walking meditation in a city, in a park, even at home. Wandering on autopilot. Walking is such an established, um, habituated action for many of us that we tend to do it on autopilot. The moment we step out the door, our mind tends to go wandering, too caught up in remembering, dwelling, planning, worrying, or analyzing. Each time that happens, we move away from the present moment and away from the chance to connect with nature and our surroundings. We forget to appreciate the simple pleasure of walking. Meditating while walking is a way to get the mind to walk with us and to bring a relaxed focus to this everyday pursuit. It's amazing how different we feel when paying attention to what's going on around us rather than what's swirling in our head. Which is true. That's true. Which is true. I actually agree with this actually. This is very true. This is so true right here in so many cases, man. Yeah. Um so let's see. Let's see. Yes. So taking it step by step, though it's called a walking meditation. That doesn't mean we're walking around like zombies with our eyes closed. Instead, we are mindfully walking using a meditative technique with our eyes wide open, a pace that suits us, and our attention on whichever environment we find ourselves in. It is common for people to first do a sitting meditation in a private space and then go for a walk immediately afterwards with the dog, a partner, or alone to take that meditative state with them, which is a great way to integrate mindfulness into any walk. Essentially, walking becomes a tool to familiarize ourselves with the present moment. And we do this by redirecting the mind. Instead of our object of focus being the breath. As we do with a sitting meditation, our focus becomes the rhythm of our gait. A walking exercise. There are different types of approaches to walking meditation, most of which depend on your location. A stroll in a park, for example, is different from a quick paced walk through the city. But this meditative walk, perfectly suited for people who live a busy life, can be done anywhere and at whatever pace you like. Simply follow each cue for about 30 to 60 seconds. Body check. As you start the walk, notice how the body feels, heavy or light, stiff or relaxed. Take a few seconds to become aware of your posture and the way you are carrying yourself. Observe. Without trying to change the way you are walking, simply observe your gait. Bring your attention to it. This can sometimes make you feel self-conscious, but that feeling usually passes. Tune in. Tune into what's going on around you, passing cars, other people, window displays, trees, the movement and still of things, or any other sights that come into your awareness field. You are not thinking about any of these things, though you are simply acknowledging what you see, noting sounds. Notice the sounds that drift in. What can you hear? Again, try to realize any noise but not dwell on it. Familiar sound, no, excuse me, familiar smells. Now turn your attention to any smells, whether pleasant or unpleasant. Notice how the mind habitually wants to create a story out of each smell and how it might remind you of somewhere, something, or someone. Ugh, that's awkward. Physical sensations. Next, make a point of noticing any physical sensations from how the weather makes you feel to how it feels as the sole of your feet touch the ground. There's still no need to think about any of these observations. Simply notice, acknowledge, and let go. Movement. After a minute or two, contemplate the sensation of movement in the body, how the arms hang or swing by your side, or how the weight steadily shifts from right to left. Observe your stride, your pace, and rhythm you've become accustomed to. Focus on your rhythm. Use that rhythm, the soles of the feet touching the ground as your base of awareness, a place you can mentally come back to when the mind wanders off. Repeat this throughout your walk, step by step, block by block, or mile by mile. These steps are guidelines, not rules, so adapt them to fit your walk wherever you go or however long it takes. For example, on a walk that takes 10 minutes, you might use a street by street basis. At the beginning of each block, remind yourself of your intention to walk free from distraction until you reach the next cross street or junction. As soon as you realize the mind has wandered, gently bring your attention back to the sensation of the soles of your feet. Walking in the city, distractions are everywhere in the hustle and bustle of any city. Not only from the pace of life, but everything from the sights to the smells. Oh man, but that doesn't mean we can't be present and pay attention to what's happening around us. The mind is likely to be more stimulated in a city, so there's even more reason to anchor the mind to the rhythm of your walk. Notice your gait. Are you scurrying around with 100 things on your mind, or are you ambling while daydreaming? The more you notice these things, your gait, any sensations, how you move, the more you step into your body, the more you are in your body, the more awareness you can bring to the world around you. Before I keep on going, let me just look up what a gate is, which is GAIT. What is a gate, you ask? What is a gate? So a gait is a person's manner of walking. Wow. Did not, did not know that. Oh man, a gate. Okay, so all right. Oh damn, 7 kinds of gait. Okay, so let's see. The pattern of how you walk is called your gait. Many different. Oh shit. The hell? What the hell? Many. Oh man. Many different diseases and conditions can affect your gait and lead to problems with walking. They include abnormal development of the muscles or bones of your legs or feet. 7 kinds of gait. Wow. So you have the normal gait cycle, the hemiplegic gait, a diplegic gait, Parkinsonian gait, uh, at axid gait, neuropathic gait, myopathic gait, and coriform gait. Oh boy. All right. I'm probably gonna actually try to cover these in a future episode. So we'll say that for the next episode, man. Let me just keep going on the walking meditation space here. So all right, so walking in nature, there's perhaps nothing more refreshing than getting outside and taking a walk in nature, connecting with all its sights, sounds, and scents, checking in with yourself, and the scenery can turn an ordinary walk into a direct experience and appreciation of life. The stillness of a natural landscape, a park, river, forest, or mountain trail means that the only real distractions will be the mind itself or any devices taken with you. Become aware of your posture and any sensations in the body while maintaining a steady, comfortable rhythm, walking naturally and breathing normally. Use the rhythm of the walk, left foot, right foot, as the point of gentle focus. By doing this, you are bringing the mind to a place of rest where it can fully engage in the environment and present moment. Walking in your home. Sometimes it's not possible to go for a long stroll due to ill health or bad weather. Um, but that doesn't prevent you from doing a walking meditation inside. It's simply a case of using the interior space to your advantage. You can walk the length of a room or hallway as long as you have enough space to walk freely in a straight line for 10 to 20 steps. Damn, that's a lot. That's a damn, that's a fucking lot. That's a lot. Um, mark out mark out start and end points and simply walk back and forth between the two, taking slow, deliberate steps and noticing how the body feels, noticing the movement and bringing your attention to the rhythm of the walk each time the mind wanders. Try 8 meditations for walking and getting outside. Looking for more meditations for being mindful in nature. The Headspace app offers members several courses and single meditations on exercises in an appreciation of the outdoors, including loving earth meditation. We When we learn to appreciate what the earth provides for us, we can learn to love, respect, and take care of all forms of life. Connect with the world, mindfully activity, mindful activity. Um, Reflect on all the sights and sounds and feel how your body moves through the world. Walking in nature, mindful activity. Let go of the thinking mind and reconnect with nature by trying this exercise and technique. Walking in the city, mindful activity. By bringing attention to your awareness, the mind can become calm and allow you to feel more connected with your body and the world around you. Run easily, no, excuse me, run easy, mindful activity. Lace up for an introductory run with Headspace's Andy um, Pattycombe and Nike running global head coach Chris Bennett. Of course, run smart, mindful activity. Work on changing your approach on running by becoming more aware of your thoughts. Keep running mindful activity. Use this when you need extra support from Andy and Nike coach Chris Bennett to get the most out of your workout. And of course, gardening mindful activity, awaken the senses with an exercise that encourages you to step outside and smell the roses. Be kind to your mind. Access the full library of 500 plus meditations on everything from stress to resilience to compassion. Put your mind to bed with sleep sounds, music, and wind down exercises. Let's see. So you have mindfulness. Make mindfulness a part of your daily routine with tension releasing workouts, relaxing yoga, focus music playlists, and more. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. Yes. So let me see. So, okay, you can check out Headspace. You could let me see. Yeah, you can check out Headspace. You can actually um yeah, you can download the app actually. Yes, you can download the app and stuff. And all that great stuff right there. So, um, all right. So now, um, before we even go to the continuation of the bad news of the writer's strike and everything else in between, um, we're gonna get into we're getting to the we're gonna get into um some transit stuff. All right. So let me see. Um Let me see. Hold on a second. Hold on one second. Okay. Okay. All right. So, this is from the Bronx Times, actually. So let's get into it right here. So, the New York Yankees honored six Metro North Railroad employees who saved a toddler while on duty last month before the team's Monday game against the Cleveland Guardians. The Bronx Bombers recognized the six during a pregame batting practice and ceremony before the first pitch of Monday night's matchup. It has been so great to see the reception of these heroic employees. Catherine Rinaldi, Metro North Railroad president, and LIRR interim president said in a statement, "We cannot thank the New York Yankees enough for providing a once in a lifetime experience to the Metro North family." And and on the afternoon of April 6th, Metro North employees aboard a Hudson Line train just north of Terrytown in Westchester County spotted a young child on the northbound tracks. Of course, video surveillance released by the MTA on April 24th chronicles the communication between employees who sprung into action. Um, locomotive locomotive engineers William Kennedy, who was operating a southbound train, sent out emergency radio communication to nearby train crews after after he saw the child on the other side of the tracks. A northbound train headed by locomotive engineer Sean um, Logren proceeded at a slow rate of speed and then stopped when he and an engineer trainee could see the child, who had walked across the northbound tracks and was approaching the electrified third rail in, in the distance. Assistant conductor Marcus Higgins jumped out of the stop train and towards ran toward the 3-year-old boy. According to the video, civilians, employees in the halted northbound train exclaimed in fear while they watched the child approach and climb onto the third rail track while Higgins was still running. No, 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 no! Don't do that! Don't do that! One of the employees said from inside the train. The other engineer sent out an emergency signal to have the third rail turned off. Metro North 737, I need that rail killed immediately. Over. He signaled the toddlers right on the third rail. Just a few seconds after the emergency signal, Higgins reached the child and scooped him up in his arms off the rail. He ushered the toddler to the side of the tracks, and employees helped the pair climb aboard. Apart from the two trains, one southbound and one northbound, there were no other Metro North vehicles on those tracks at the time of the incident. A spokesperson from the MTA told the Bronx Times on Tuesday. The spokesperson also said the employees followed MTA protocol to conduct the rescue. Although this was a unique situation, crew members followed protocols provided during training for emergency situations, the spokesperson said. The child was reunited with his mother, who embraced him through tears, and sister when the train crew returned to the Tarrytown station. Sleepy Hollow police had been assisting the mother with a missing child report at the time of the rescue. According to the MTA, the toddler's mother said her son has autism. In the heat of the moment, when you see a child in this situation, your first instinct is to make sure they are safe, Higgins said in a statement. I'm glad our crew was there and able to help. The honorees at Yankee Stadium on Monday were Kennedy, Higgins, Logren, and Rinaldi, as well as a Metro North signal maintainer Christopher Frena and MTA police officer Jose Reyes. Not the former baseball player, folks. This is a different one. This is a different one. Man. Wow, that's pretty dope right there, man. Oh man. That's pretty dope. Yeah. All right, we got another transit story to talk about here, and this is pertaining to lead paint. This is pertaining to lead paint in Bushwick, Brooklyn. And of course, chip paint with dangerous concentrations of lead has been raining down from the elevated subway tracks that run through Bushwick for years. Yet the MTA has dragged its feet in fixing the problem despite public outcry, according to a group of locals, elected officials, and union painters. Salvatore Polizzi, owner of Tony's Pizzeria near the Knickerbocker Avenue M train stop, said the issue has been a major concern for years and that he first tested the paint chipping off the J, M, and Z tracks in 2020, sending in samples from the areas around Knickerbocker, Myrtle, and Wyckoff Avenues, um, and Myrtle Avenue, Broadway. The chips, he said, came back with a dangerously high concentration of lead, about 63,000 parts per million, substantially above federal legal limits of 5,000 ppm, considered hazardous to human health and requiring abatement. He shared his findings with local elected officials and the MTA, but said the transit authority has failed to address the issue for 3 years, even as local children continue to be exposed to d- dangerous levels of lead. Oh my God, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. That's scary.
Oh my God! Oh
Unfortunately, not much has come since that day in 2020, Pelosi said at a press conference at a plaza next to the Knickerbocker Avenue station, a popular hangout spot. The same material is on these tracks. We are in the same position we were then. The MTA has dragged its feet. It continues to tell us that work will be underway. Today, it is widely understood that lead is hazardous to human health, especially for young children who are at risk of brain damage and stunted development if exposed to large amounts of the toxic material. The sale of lead based paint for consumers' use has been banned since 1978. And today, commercial paint cannot contain more 90 ppm of the material. Those restrictions were not in place when the elevated trains were first built. The tracks and stations along Myrtle Avenue are some of the oldest in the system, built in the 1880s and operated by private railroad companies nearly 2 decades before the subway system even existed. The structure's paint is chipping throughout the line, but the dangers of lead exposure don't stop in the immediate vicinity of the tracks. The area's city council member Sandy Nurse noted that when lead paint chips and falls to the ground, it gets ground down as it's walked and driven over with dust residue potentially making its way into local homes and businesses. Oh boy. Um the paint that is falling off of these tracks falls off as big chunks and then gets broken down and pulverized into little micro bits as cars, trucks, and people walk around them, said Nurse. So these smaller and smaller bits can turn into dust that gets kicked up by the street sweepers, by people walking back and forth, and it can get tracked into our homes. Bushwick deserves to have investments in our public infrastructure. The council member continued. We deserve to have a safe community where we can walk without being exposed to high levels of toxic material. NCA spokesperson Ray Ramondi did not provide an answer when asked when the structure was last repainted. A contract for repainting the M line is set to be awarded sometime this year. The safety of customers and communities served by the MTA is a top priority. This commitment is reflected in the MTA's current capital program that includes 26.5 miles of elevated structural repairs and painting, more than six times the amount in the prior plan, said Ramondi. The structural maintenance program follows appropriate safety protocols that will not be compromised. The 26.5 miles of elevated line represents nearly half of the subway system's overhead trackage. Approximately $1.3 billion is earmarked for the marathon's worth of repairs in the agency's $55 billion 2020 to 2024 capital plan, although it is not necessarily for lead abatement, but rather to protect the aging structures from steel corrosion that could potentially lead to collapse. Whew, that's crazy, man. Wow. I mean, wow, man. Um, wow. All right. Um, yeah. Okay. We have 60 miles of elevated steel structures to look after, and the painting is the only way you protect that steel from erosion, said MTA Chair and CEO General Lieber at the agency's monthly board meeting last week. Not painting, as we all know, will compromise the safety and reliability of the structure, which ultimately leads to emergency repairs, which are expensive, and to service disruptions. Disruptions. We want to avoid all that by being proactive. Back in 2017, a group of Jackson Heights residents filed a class action lawsuit against the MTA, arguing the authority had for years allowed lead paint to chip off the 7 train's elevated structure and fall to the streets of Queens. The following year, then New York City Transit um, former president Andy Byford, known as Train Daddy, Train Daddy, announced the agency would remove the hazardous paint, pledging to strip the structure down to the metal before applying 3 new coats of paint between 82nd and 103rd Streets. After the discovery of the lead crisis in Queens, lawmakers demanded that the MTA comprehensively study its elevated structures and issue a report on the presence of lead paint. Bushwick Daily reported last year that when then Governor Andrew Cuomo signed the bill, it had been substantially weakened, only requiring the MTA to report on its extent capital projects to remediate lead hazards than rather than the comprehensive study sought by legislatures. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Hold on a second here. Man. Okay, one moment. Yeah, so that was your New York Mass Transit Files. With the with the transit topics that we just got into. So let's wrap this up, and we have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about in the writer strike and all that other stuff to include. Um, all right, so that was your New York Mass Transit Files segment. Okay, now we're gonna go into another segment right here that I like to call chatting all the jazz. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. In case you didn't know, in our last episode, I did touch on the whole writer strike that's going on, and there's more. There's more stuff to be discussed. Actually, let's get into it right here. All right. So, for those of you who may not know, let me just fill you in. Let me just fill you in on a couple of people who are involved in the writer strike, including the musicians and stuff. So let me just give you a background on this. Um okay, so let me just give you a background on this. All right. So according to Cinema Bland, right? Back in late 2007 and early 2008, Hollywood writers went on strike for 100 days, and it sent numerous ripples throughout the industry. Loads of movies, many of which are now widely disliked, were rushed into production, like Quantum of Solace, uh, X-Men Origins Wolverine, and Terminator Salvation. Additionally, network TV shows like Heroes halted production, and in lieu of paying writers, a bigger pivot to reality programming occurred. Oh boy. Hollywood lost over $2 billion as a result of the 3 month strike, with the 2023 strike here, which has over 11,000 members of the WGA demanding fair pay. It's time to prepare for how the situation in Hollywood is affecting TV shows in the age of streaming. Okay, before I go into that, let me cue the cash register sound effects. So just bear with me here. Okay, bear with me. Okay, bear with me here. All right. So let's get into how it's affecting the TV shows. Let's see. All right. So depend. Hold on a second. Ugh, I don't know how to do. Well, depending on how. The hell is this? So depending on how. I don't know how. Wow. How. Oh boy. How depending on how TV productions of series and movies could be halted and changed. Here's a timeline of everything we know about it, including the Batman spin-off series, The Penguin being the latest series to close up shop. The origins of the 2023 WGA Writers Strike, um, which stands for Writers Guild of America, in case nobody don't know what that is. Fears of a writer's strike have been looming over Hollywood since early this year, with the Writers Guild of America's 3-year contract set to expire on May 1st. When the U.S. Union met in February 2023, they voted on a pattern of demands regarding a proposed standardized compensation for writers. 98% of members approved it back in early March per Variety. Negotiations began on March 20th and concluded on May 1st without an agreement. Jeez Louise, man. Jeez Louise. Hold on a second. Shouts to the crew from Detroit State of Mind podcast, man. I appreciate you for viewing this. Anyway, so couldn't reach an agreement. Let me see. So the Writers Guild of America called a strike. On the evening of May 1st, the WGA announced that it had voted unanimously to call a strike against 12:01 a.m. Tuesday, May 2nd, per Twitter. Throughout the day on Tuesday, writers took their picket signs to studio buildings like Sony, Paramount, Warner Brothers, and more. Among the attendees were loads of TV writers, but even actors like Rob Lowe and Ted Lasso's Brett Goldstein came out to support Hollywood writers. Um, late night shows and Saturday Night Live go dark. Amidst announcements on Tuesday of the 2023 writer strike, the first major affected aspect of television to fall was the late night sector. It was announced that network shows, including the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Late Night with Seth Meyers, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and Jimmy Kimmel Live, among others, would not be in operation this first week with support from its hosts, and they instead would air reruns. Though one talk show host will push on Fox News, Greg Gutfeld. It was later reported that late night hosts like Seth Meyers and Jimmy Fallon will pay their staff personally out of their pocket, along with NBC additionally offering 2 weeks of pay per Business Insider. Damn. Damn, man. Hold on a second. Damn, son. Um, all right, so Drew Barrymore drops out of hosting the MTV Movie and TV Awards. Drew Barrymore was set to host the MTV Movie and TV Awards on Sunday, May 7th. However, with the writer's strike going on, she has dropped out per THR. Barrymore reportedly decided to do so in solidarity with the strike, though she has signed on to host next year's show. Amidst the strike, MTV has additionally called off the red carpet for the event. Even Mayim Bialik steps away from Jeopardy, but the show will go on. Jeopardy host Mayim Bialik decided to step away from her hosting duties on the game show as the writer's strike continues, per Deadline. though the report also said that Ken Jennings would take her place and the series would continue filming in May. Huh. Damn, son. That's really crazy, man. All right. All right. So scripted network TV, along with streaming shows currently in production, being paused. So on Tuesday, it was also announced that a handful of major shows are already being affected by the 2023 writer strike as well. Here is an updated list of TV shows that have reportedly been paused due to the strike. Night Court, the NBC series, also reportedly gone dark for now on Tuesday per deadline. Abbott Elementary writer Brittany Nichols shared that the ABC Writers Room is currently closed as well. If the strike continues, both of these network shows' tight schedules and episode content could be gravely affected by the strike. Jeez, man. Cobra Kai creator John Hurwitz updated fans that there were no writers on set amidst the strike as the Netflix series filmed season 6. Yellow Jackets, the co-creator of the Showtime series, has also shared that one day into season three's production, amidst our many questions about what's next for the show, its writers' room closed too. Unstable season 2 of Netflix comedy series starring Rob Lowe, who is also from 911 Lone Star on Fox, and his son John Owen Lowe, has seen a shutdown in production per deadline. After 6 of 8 scripts were written and production was set to begin later this spring. um, Yeah, it's spring. Let's see, but not every series is being affected by the strike. HBO's House of the Dragon, for example, isn't shutting down season 2 production because all the scripts have already been written. Severance, Severance. Per deadline, the second season of Severance has also shut down production in New York due to the strike. Big Mouth, the Netflix animated series, was 6 weeks into writing but has not paused this process. Andor, the Disney Plus hit star series, has reportedly ceased all writing related work of production after previously filming in the UK, per its showrunner Tony Gilroy. Stranger Things, the Duffer Brothers shared that the final season of the Netflix series would not get into filming until the strike is over, thus delaying season 5 of Stranger Things. As the creators shared, writing does not stop when filming begins. Daredevil Born Again, the reboot, the upcoming Marvel series that will see Charlie Cox back as Daredevil, has reportedly stalled filming 2 months into production due to the writer's strike as well. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the Games of Thrones prequel series, has closed its writers' room for the duration of the strike, according to George R. Martin per deadline. Billions, the Showtime series, has shut down for the second time and has no resume date for the time being. The Last of Us Variety has reported that season 2 for the HBO hit series has been put on hold, as well after the casting team was asking actors to read sides directly from the game as they wait for scripts. Pretty Little Liars Summer School, an upcoming Pretty Little Liars spinoff, has shut down production in New York. And of course, Power Book 2 Ghost Book, the first spinoff in Star's Powerverse, has also paused filming per deadline. P Valley, which, which I did not know. I did not know it stands for Pussy Valley, by the way, folks. Oh shit. Oh my gosh. I did not know that, man. This is a laugh. This is laughable, man. This is laughable, folks. Oh man. So P Valley, the third season of the Star Series halted production in Atlanta and will continue to do so until the strike is over. The Penguin, the Batman spinoff on the Max. The Penguin officially paused filming on June 14th due to the writer's strike and will reportedly halt production until the strike ends. Jeez Louise, man. Duster, um, the J.J. Abrams period drama has shut down production until the writer's strike is over. The Really Loud House, this Nickelodeon series, shut down production due to picketing. Hacks season 3 of the Max series halted due to the strike as well. The Old Men season 2 of Jeff Bridges' FX series completed filming through episode 204 before suspending production on May 22nd. Totally, Gilmore Girls and the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, um, Amy Amy Sherman, Palladino, has been in production on a ballet drama called Itole, though it's currently shut down production until the writer's strike is over. Zero Day, a Netflix series starring and executive produced by Robert De Niro, has also paused production due to the writer's strike. But not every series is being affected by the strike. HBO's House of the Dragon, for example, isn't shutting down season 2 production because all the scripts have already been written. Additionally, Amazon's Rings of Power is pushing through filming without its showrunners on the set per Variety. Economic toll reported from writer strikes. With the writer strike going on for 2 months, the economic toll on Hollywood is beginning to prove concerning, especially for small business owners who do everything from catering on film sets, florists, prop people, equipment rentals, and customers. Per the WGA, um, the strike would the strike could be costing the local economy $30 million a day. My God, man. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Actors get ready to strike too. Um, I will get to that next. On June 22nd, no, June 27th rather, over 300 actors, including the likes of Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, Kevin Bacon, Amy Schumer, and I think Kiki Palmer, and along with more, signed a letter to SAG-AFTRA sharing that they are prepared to strike if negotiations regarding their new film and TV contract are not met to their expectations after June 30th expiration. Depending on how things go, an upcoming actor strike could impact the WGA strike as actors band with writers on the picket line. The letter via deadline said, in quote, "This is not a moment to meet in the middle as it push for the change we need and protections we deserve." Um, of course, we'll keep you posted regarding what goes down next for the 2023 writer strike. Until then, stay up to date with the 2023 TV schedule here on Cinema Bland. And yes, you can hear the fireworks going on near my where I live, of course, which is in preparation of the 4th of July, which is tomorrow. And before I get to the musicians, hold on a second, man. Um, Seth McFarlane is one of those people that actually stepped off amid rider strike. He's no longer part of the family. Family Guy and American Dad creator and star Seth McFarlane has called it quits amid the ongoing contentious writer strike. Oh gosh, the 49-year-old and his showrunners, Brian Boyle, Matt Weitzman, Rich Appel, and Alex Sulkin, walked out in support of the ongoing Writers Guild of America work stoppage. Deadline recently reported. McFarlane, who has voiced characters including Peter, Brian, and Stewie Griffin, and American Dad led Stan Smith, reportedly has no plans to return until an agreement between the WGA and his studio 20th television is reached. Family Guy wrapped up its 21st season on Fox on May 7th. However, McFarlane's popular American Dad is 2 months into its 20th season, which premiered March 27th on TBS. The latter has 3 months of scripts and voiceovers already in the can, according to Deadline, and the studio would need to devise a plan for moving forward with the rest of the season. Neither McFarlane nor his Fuzzy Door Productions received a suspension letter from NBC Universal, the publication claimed. Let's see. And the Emmy Award, hold on a minute here. Yes, the Emmy Award winner participated in the 2007 to 2008 strike that lasted 100 days. So rejoining the movement 15 years later might not come as much of a shock. The Post has reached out to McFarlane's representatives for comment. On May 2nd, the WGA announced that its members in California, New York, and other cities would refuse to work after the union and studios disagreed on a new 3-year contract after their current one expired. Many Americans' favorite television shows, including Abbott Elementary, Stranger Things, and House of the Dragon, among many others, were impacted by the strike. However, WGA members recently decided to not picket the 2023 Tony Awards amid their ongoing walkout. Tony Awards production, a joint venture of the Broadway League and the American Theater League, has communicated with us that they are altering this year's show to conform with specific requests from the WGA, and therefore the WGA would not be picketing the show, an organization statement said. Here's more to the story. Actually, there's some music artists that actually participated in this as well, and and of course, we're gonna get into Billboard. That would the Billboard. Last part was from the New York Post. And this is according to Billboard.com. Um, yeah. So let's see. I chose to talk. Listen, let me just say something here, man. I chose to talk about the writer's strike over the fucking submarine in the Titanic because I feel like this is more important than the crazy submarine shit that's going on, man. And you know what's crazy? One of the workers at my job wanted me to talk about this on my podcast, but I told him I can't relate to that shit because it's not something I want to depress people about. I don't want to depress the listeners out there and the watchers and all that other stuff right there. And you know, I just wanted to get it out the way before I continued. So that's just my take on that. So all right, so according to Billboard, the ongoing Writers Guild of America strike has been affecting TV series, late night talk shows, and award shows since May Monday, May 1st, after negotiations with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers failed to produce a new deal. Damn, son. Damn, son. This is crazy. This is crazy. Damn. Now I know a bunch of TV shows is basically drowning right now, man. They're basically drowning right now, man. I feel for, it's crazy, man. I just feel for the writers too, but at the same token, um, I do feel for the people who have their TV shows that they want to watch those. So they really drowning out there, man. They really are.
Why don't you look me up?
Yeah, that part too, man. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's continue. Um, let's continue, man. So let's see. While company profits have remained high and spending on content has grown, writers are falling behind. They're falling behind. The WGA said in a statement shared with the Hollywood Reporter. The companies have used the transition to streaming to cut writer pay and separate writing from production. Okay. Worsening working conditions for series writers at all levels. On TV staffs, more writers are working at minimum regardless of experience, often for fewer weeks or in mini rooms, while showrunners are left without a writing staff to complete the season. And while series budgets have soared over the past decade, median writer producer pay has fallen. Since it began, the writers' strike has garnered support from any celebrities in Hollywood, including a number of musicians, from Flavor Flav from Public Enemy, joining protesters outside of Warner Brothers studios, to Imagine Dragons, Weezer, and more, spreading the love through many performances. See below for all of the musicians who have been supporting the writer's strike as it continues. So Flavor Flav, one of them. Um, Flavor Flav, the rapper, joined protesters on May 18th in Burbank, California, outside Warner Brothers Studios, showing support for the ongoing Writers Guild of America strike. In photos and videos shared to social media, he brought pizza, burgers, and fries to those on the picket line, and also danced along to his Public Enemy protest anthem, "Fight the Power." He was also spotted posing for photos with Ted Lasso team, including Jason Sudeikis, and the Abbott Elementary team, including Quinta Bronson. Imagine Dragons, the band's singer Dan Reynolds and guitarist Daniel Sermon stopped by the Netflix picket line in Hollywood on May 10th, where they treated protesters to an acoustic performance of their hits Radioactive and Whatever It Takes. Um, Similarly, Weezer played an impromptu acoustic set on the Paramount Pictures lot for the Picketers on May 17th. Singer, guitarist Rivers Cuomo, guitarist Brian Bell, and bassist Scott Schreiner performed a mini set that included their 1994 hit Buddy Holly and 2005's Beverly Hills. Huh. Well, it ain't Beverly Hills from The Simpsons, folks. Tom Morello also entertained picketers in support as the Rage Against the Machine rocker was spotted on May 10th performing his protest anthem Union Song from his solo project The Night Watchman. Snoop Dogg. Artists need to figure it out the same way the writers are figuring it out. Snoop said during a May 3rd panel with Variety's executive music editor Shirley Halperin and Gammer's Larry Jackson. The writers are striking because of streaming. They can't get paid because when it's on the platform, it's not like in the box office. He continued, I don't understand how the fuck you get paid off of that shit. Somebody explain to me how you how you could get a billion streams and not get $1 million. That's the main gripe with a lot of us artists is that we do major numbers, but it don't add up to the money. Like, where the fuck is the money? That's a good point. That's a good point, man. That's a good point right there. On June 2nd, Snoop announced that he's delaying his Doggy Style 30th anniversary celebration to stand in solidarity with the writers due to the ongoing WGA strike and the DGA and SAG AFTRA negotiations. We have decided to postpone the shows. Snoop captioned June 2nd Instagram video about delaying the celebration for the Dr. Dre produced album. We stand in solidarity with the unions and are hopeful that the AMPTP will negotiate fair deals as soon as possible and everybody can get back to work. There's more, folks. There's more to the story. There's more to the story, actually. There's more to the story, actually. There now the actors is actually joining this. Now the actors is joining. Yeah. Now the actors. I'm gonna actually talk about that too. Yes, here it is. So this is from VOA News. We're gonna actually continue where we left off here. Um, so so Friday, June 30th is when this was posted. So, Los Angeles Hollywood actors may be on the verge of joining screenwriters in what would be the first two union strike in this industry in more than 6 decades, with huge consequences for film and television production. Here's a look at how it could play out and why it's happening. Okay, so what's happening with actors negotiations? The contract between the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation, and radio and television artists and the studio streaming services and production companies that employ them expires Friday night at midnight Pacific time. Unionized actors have voted overwhelmingly to authorize their leaders to call a strike when it does, but that's hardly a hard deadline. Both sides have indicated a willingness to talk for what may be several days past the expiration date, as happened before resolutions were reached in the same negotiations in 2014 and 2017. Reports have said the talks have been productive, but some actors have expressed worry that their leaders may not be pushing hard enough. More than 1,000 of them, including Mero Streep, Jennifer Lawrence, and Bob Odenkirk, have added their names to a letter of to negotiators saying they are willing to strike and are concerned they are ready to make sacrifices that leadership is not. The letter says this is not a moment to meet in the middle. The guild, led by President and former nanny star Fran Drescher, represents over 160,000 screen actors, stunt performers, broadcast journalists, um, announcers, and hosts. But a strike would involve only actors working on television shows and films. What do actors want? Let's break down what they want. Um, Many of many of the same issues that drove writers to strike are on the table for actors, including what the guilds say is shrinking compensation brought on by a streaming ecosystem in which royalty payments are no longer tethered to the popularity of a film or TV show, a role, or a writing credit on a show that became a hit with a long life in reruns is no longer the cash cow that it once was. And the unions say inflation is outpacing the scheduled pay bumps within their contracts. For both scribes and performers and move to streaming, and its ripple effects have also meant shorter seasons of shows with longer gaps between them, and therefore less work. Hold on. Okay. Um, and like the writers, actors fear the threat of unrelated use of artificial intelligence, which is robots. SAG AFTRA said in a memo to members that the burgeoning ability of AI to recreate the performance of its members is a real and immediate threat that it wants to head off. Okay, let me just say something about this though. All right. Couple of weeks ago, I was talking to someone from Lotto Universal, and when I brought up the AI situation with the whole thing with Drake, the whole thing with Drake and Tim, and of course Timberland, who thought that it was a good idea to use um to create an AI to use Biggie Small's voice, which is not really something that is a good idea. I don't think that's a. I don't really think it's a good idea though. But I'll save that topic for a future episode. So and the man tells me that people who use Chat GPT to ask for freedom. Let me tell you something, motherfucker. For you to say that AI robots is going to take over podcasts, radio personalities, or at radio stations or anything like that, there's a fucking difference. The difference is robots rely on electricity and motor oil. That's what they fucking rely on, okay? That's number one. Number two, as you just heard, that I just read about the whole AI thing. It's going to be it's a threat. It's a threat to the writers. You know what I'm saying? And from what I heard from one of the videos that was while I was watching TV, one of the protesters was saying that to use AI to basically pl- plagiarize and basically copy off of the work of the writers as far as the scripts and stuff, which is really not fair though, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's fair because it's just crazy. And And yes, um, and yes, I did actually listen to a hold on a minute. I did listen to a show that I want y'all to check out. It's called Deadline Strike Talk Podcast. It's on Spotify and everywhere else. That way you could get a better understanding on what's going on and everything else in between. And yes, I'm going to be keeping an eye on some updates on what's going on with the writer strike as well. So just stick around and we'll find out what's going on with the future TV shows and everything else if if there's a deal in place. And by the way, I did read something in regards to Jay Leno, by the way, man, who was also part of the protest. And of course, his game show, You Bet Your Life, on Fox has been on pause because of the writer's strike. It's not canceled. It's just been renewed for season 3. So it's on pause right now until they reach a damn decision and end this stupid ass strike, man. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people are fans of reality TV shows, okay? Because some of the reality TV shows are so fucking staged, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to get it off my chest though, man. And there's no way in the hell AI robot is going to fucking take over podcast shows because it doesn't have the capability and the depths to actually do what we do. First of all, human beings, we put in the work. We put in the work on how we create our podcast shows and everything else in between. And I don't think I really think it's going to really happen, man. It is not going. I don't think AI is going to be taking over podcast shows, man. To be honest, it's just not going to happen because if it does, it's a big threat, and that's not a good thing at all, man. And 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 just because people are saying that it's part of the future does not mean that people are forced to fucking like it. You feel what I'm saying, folks? I'm pretty sure you do, man. I'm pretty sure you do. And by the way, Chat GPT is not going to guarantee freedom because freedom ain't free. You understand what I'm saying? Now, it's one thing to have creative freedom in terms of your craft and everything else in between. And I like the independent route of me being a podcaster compared to being under a label, just like how indie music artists don't like to be under a fucking label because they don't like to they it's like they don't like and I said this before, they don't like the ownership and creative control to be taken away from them. Because giving away your stuff is like giving away who you are as a person. You feel what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what I had to say on the whole thing with the AI taking over podcasts and stuff with the guy from Lotto Universal. Now he's wrong for that shit too, man. He's wrong for that shit too. So you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have the capacity. It doesn't have the capacity and the soul. It doesn't have a soul. You know what I'm saying? It does not have a fucking soul. Robots don't have souls like we do. So just think about it. Think about this shit though. Think about what I said. All right? Let's continue. All right. So, let me see where we left off here, man. Let me see where we left off here. So, Have Hollywood actors gone on strike before? So, movie and TV actors last went on strike for 3 months in 1980, though actors in broadcast commercials have gone on strike twice since then. Overall, they have had far more labor peace than screenwriters, whose walkouts have been far more frequent. That includes the current standoff, in which 11,500 members of the Writers Guild of America, which is what WGA stands for, have been on strike for nearly 2 months and with no end in sight. In 1960, the Actors Union, led by then SAG president and future U.S. President Ronald Reagan, went on strike for 6 weeks. That fell in the middle of a 5 month writer strike. The only time two major Hollywood unions walked off the job at the same time. And what effect would the combined strikes have for viewers? The writers' strike has The writer's strike had an almost instant effect on late night network talk shows, including NBC's The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live, and CBS's The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which all went on hiatus immediately. Even Saturday Night Live axed its last 3 episodes of the season, which, by the way, I did see a video of the people the the NBC studios protesting and some other places in a video that I saw by Andy's Randomness. So, um, and of course, you hear the fireworks going on because of the 4th of July 4-day weekend. So, anyway, so in the 2 months since many scripted television series have also shut down, including Netflix's Stranger Things, Max's Hacks, um, Showtime's Yellow Jackets, and Apple TV's Severance. Some movies have reportedly also been paused. Actors joining writers would force nearly every other show or film that hasn't already been shot into a similar shutdown. Forthcoming seasons of television shows would be delayed indefinitely, and movie releases will be pushed back. Streaming menus on Netflix and Amazon Prime Video will show no immediate differences, though lovers of the outlet's original series would eventually have to wait longer for their favorites to return. Exceptions would be productions taking place outside the United States, and reality shows, game shows, and most daytime talk shows will likely be unaffected. Yes. The two strikes are also casting doubt on the viability of the Emmy Awards, whose nominations are scheduled to be announced on July 12th before a September ceremony, though the Tony Awards and BET Awards shows managed to go on despite the writer strike. So, what's happening with the writers, you ask? So, the writers has been seen persistent picketing and some major rallies for 2 months. But so far, no movement. There are no current negotiations happening between the strikers and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. Um, yeah, hold on a second. Television producers, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Television producers, yes. So, which represents the studio streamers, excuse me, and production companies in all the industry's union negotiations. Along with the issues they have in common with actors, writers are especially concerned with the shrinking staff that are used on shows, which they call mini rooms. They have met much less work and far fewer guarantees of future work. Jeez. Okay, so let's get into a little bit there's a little bit of good news here, man. There's a little bit of good news here. And this is according to the Hollywood Reporter. Industry insiders concerned about the possibility of potential actor strike will have to wait a little bit longer to know for sure. SAG AFTRA and top studios and streamers have agreed to extend their current contract negotiations until July 12th at 11:59 p.m. Hopefully this shit works out, man. The two parties announced that they would delay the expiration of the union's current TV theatrical contracts package on Friday, mere hours before those agreements were set to expire at midnight. This move will allow for more time for negotiations and for ongoing projects to continue operating under SAG AFTRA agreements until the new expiration date. If the two parties do not reach an agreement by the end of the day on July 12th, the union can still call a strike, which, if it came to pass, would be its first targeting major film and television companies in 4 decades, and coupled with an ongoing writer strike, would further hamper the industry. Damn. Well, let me just say, I want to say this though. I want to say this. So this is very, 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 very hard. This is very crazy though, man. And I was actually reading somewhere. I forget what website I was reading on. The people in hold on a second. The people in if I'm not mistaken, what is it? AM. Hold on a second. Now the people in AMPTP, right? The people over there, right? I kind of read somewhere that they're talking about they can't pay writers because of they couldn't pay writers because of the fact that inflation has been the main culprit. We all know inflation has been the main culprit and stuff, and it's very, very, very hard to actually and it was very hard to actually meet with their demands, which is kind of crazy. And this is like, for me to understand both sides of the spectrum here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's one thing to know about inflation that's been going on, of course, and yeah, I feel for the writers too. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, man, at the same token, this strike is actually affecting local businesses, including people who are caterers, florists. You just name it, man. They're being affected by this writer strike too, and they're losing money as well. And and let's hope we don't have another sequel to another recession, okay? Because we don't need that. We don't need a third one. We don't need a third one. So there you have it. Let me just say, yeah. Um all right, so the two parties announced that they would delay the they would delay the expiration of let me see the union's current TV theatrical contracts package on Friday, mere hours before those agreements were set to expire at midnight. Of course, this move will allow for more time for negotiations uh, and for ongoing projects to continue operating under SAG AFTRA agreements until the new expiration date. Yeah, yeah, I already read that part already. Okay. So negotiations are set to continue on Saturday, sources say. The union's TV theatrical negotiating committee wrote in an open letter to members on Friday night not to mistake this extension for weakness. The committee explained that it was operating under an unusually abbreviated time frame to negotiate to comprehensive and inclusive deal, and that the decision was made in order to exhaust every opportunity to achieve the righteous contract we all demand and deserve. The letter concluded, "We see you, we hear you, we are you." The union and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers is what AMPTP stands for, have been engaged in negotiations since June 7th over a new package of 3-year contracts concerning around 160,000 performers. With this latest negotiation, the union is looking to institute strong protections for members around artificial intelligence, of course, AI, of course, robots, raise wage floors, amplify streaming residuals, further regulate self-tape auditions, and protect the union's health, retirement, and pension plans. Studios and streamers, meanwhile, are facing economic headwinds after Wall Street turned on unprofitable streamers and will be looking to rein in spending. The union went into its 2023 round of TV theatrical negotiations with a significant bargaining chip, a strike authorization vote. Nearly 98% of its voting members greenlit a potential strike if negotiators decided to call on after the TV theatrical contracts expire on June 30th. Union negotiators suggested in a message to members on Saturday that talks with employers have been fruitful. In a video sent to members on Saturday, SAG-AFTRA president and natural, natural no, excuse me, national executive director and chief negotiator Duncan Crabtree, Ireland, said the, uh, the negotiations had been extremely productive. Added Drescher, "We're standing strong and we're going to achieve a seminal deal." But this update appeared to spark concern from some high-profile members that negotiations might be settling too early. On Tuesday, hundreds of high-profile SAG-AFTRA members told union leaders in a letter that they were prepared to strike in order to reach a transformative deal. Well, um, okay, so let's see what happens. All right, I'm gonna keep track of this, man. I'm gonna keep track of this. See what happens on the week of July 12th, which is next week, by the way. Yeah, it's next week. Yeah, it's next week, by the way. Let's see. And let's see. Anyway, let's get to some other TV stuff, man. CBS Studios dropping the CW network to be independent. Let's find out why, man. Let's find out why. Um, okay. Let's see. All right. Let's see. This is crazy. Hold on one second. All right, hold on. Sneakers lovers. Okay. All right, so CBS Studios um go independent. Wait a second. Yes, goes independent. Goes independent by dropping the CW network. Okay. All right. So let me just get to here. Here it is. All right. So the CW is about to lose 8 important affiliates. The CBS owned and operated stations that are currently affiliated with the Nexstar owned network will become independent in September. The affected stations are WPSG Philadelphia, DUPA Atlanta, KBCW San Francisco, KSTW Seattle, WTOG Tampa St. Petersburg, WKBD Detroit, K KMAX Sacramento, and WPCW Pittsburgh. These markets represent 13.9% of US TV households. This will give the CBS stations group a total of 14 CBS television network stations and 13 independent stations. We look forward to reimagining these stations as independents while leveraging the considerable value of their primetime real estate in each of the markets, said Wendy McMahon, president and co-head CBS News and Stations. It's an exciting time to look at new opportunities to add local programming, including live sports and shows from across the Paramount global brands. We are also grateful to have been part of the CW for 17 memorable years and wish our partners at Nexstar continued success. The change was expected. When Nexstar acquired the CW last year, CBS had the right to pull its affiliations, according to one source familiar with the deal. It was part of the arrangement, said the source. Currently, there are 203 CW stations that cover 99.5% of U.S. households. Since our acquisition of the CW network last October, we have known that Paramount Global might transition the network affiliations of 8 of its company-owned stations later this year, according to a statement the statement from Nexstar Media Group. We are prepared for this possibility and confident that the CW network will continue reaching 100% of U.S. television households without interruption. Paramount's decision affects a limited portion of the CW's nationwide reach, and we have already received multiple expressions of interest from station groups hoping to deepen their relationship with the CW by aligning more of their stations with the network. Another sign that CBS was beginning to break away from Nexstar was when CW announced it would carry the LIV tourneys. Since CW affiliates are only contractually obligated to air primetime programming, all 8 of the CBS-owned CW affiliates declined to air the weekend tourneys. So did the Weezer-owned CW affiliate WCIU in Chicago and Tegna-owned CW stations like KFMB in San Diego and WCCT in Hartford, New Haven, Connecticut. In markets like Chicago, San Francisco, Philadelphia, Tampa, and Hartford, where CBS and Wygo have those CW affiliates of the local stations and or Dignets will air LIV instead. A spokesman for CBS declined to comment at the time about the decision to to keep LIV off the group, though it was like because of the network's long-standing relationship with the PGA. Ah man, damn, damn man, that right there is just crazy. And I'm not even gonna get into the comments, man, because I'm not gonna get into the comments because I guess because there's some other topics to get into as well. So now this right here, look, man, the CW network, um, from what people were seeing in the comments on this on social media, including Instagram as well, is that it there's a chance that it might be there's a chance that it might be going down the tubes or whatever or some shit like that. And honestly, I don't know, man. This is just crazy though, man. You know, not even crazier than the stupid ass reality TV shows. And I got one word to say about reality TV shows.
Boring.
And of course, a lot of people are seeing that the CW network, especially the channel on the cable, is actually mostly crashing and burning. Yeah, sorry I had to do that though, folks. But it's just to prove my point though, man. Um oh shit. Oh my gosh. So oh man. Um all right. So let's go over the highlights from the Met Gala and then yeah, let's go over the highlights of the Met Gala. Let's see. All right. So and then I'll get to the music releases and stuff. Yeah. All right. Highlights of the Met Gala. Here we go. And this is according to Vogue. So this is according to Vogue actually. So there's some highlights from the Met Gala. Of course, dress stars from the 2023 Met Gala. Some highlights. There's some pictures actually. It actually some pictures actually. And obvi- obviously, there's a couple people. Hold on a minute, man. There's gotta be some statements here. There's a whole list, man. There's a whole list actually. Not yeah, latest stories. Okay, so um, yeah, this is just All right, so let me hold on a second. Let me just take a look at something real quick. Hold on a second. Um, okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna use New York. I'm gonna use the New York Post for this one. Um, yeah, for this one right here. This is crazy. All right, so of course, stars showed up in droves for the 2023 Met Gala, dressing to impress in honor of late designer Karl Lagerfeld. This year, the exhibit at Manhattan's Metropolitan Museum of Art is dedicated to Lagerfeld, whose 65-year career saw him at the helms of Chloe, Fendi, and Chanel. For some honoring Lagerfeld meant wearing vintage Chanel, Penelope Cruz, and Dua Lipa, to name a few, while others interpreted the theme as an opportunity to dress up like his beloved cat, Choupette like Jared Leto, Doja Cat, and Lil Nas X. Several celebrities dug into Lagerfeld's archives for fashion's big night out, including Nicole Kidman, who donned the gown from her iconic 2004 Chanel number 5 commercial, while Margot Robbie wore a remake of Cindy Crawford's 1993 Chanel dress. Um, yes, so this is this is okay. So this is Eddie and Hannah Redmayne. Let's see. Hang on a second here. Yeah. Yeah, and Alexander McQueen and Rihanna, of course. Rihanna showed up. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hang on a second. Wait a minute. What the hell did I do? Yeah, Rihanna showed up extremely late in a custom Valentino silk fallet dress. Of course, ASAP Rocky was included as well. Um, of course, ASAP Rocky also in Gucci. This is crazy. And Serena Williams was able to sneak in an extra guest to the 2023 Met Gala on Monday. The tennis star announced she and tech mogul husband Alexis Ohanian are expecting another child in an Instagram post showing off their gala outfits. We're so excited when Anna Wintour invited the three of us to the Met Gala. She wrote on the post with pictures showing her slight baby bump. Um, Obviously, Williams gave birth to daughter Alexis Olympia Ohanian Jr. in September 2021. Williams, age 41, wore a black Gucci outfit and the gala theme of Karl Lagerfeld, a line of beauty. And Simu Liu in Versace, Ben Platt in a Chanel suit and Christian Louboutin shoes. Pusha T, who's always having ground beef with everybody, in a Tom Brown suit along with the Tom Brown suit actually. um Tom Brown suit. Stefan Diggs and Tommy Hilfiger. Brittany Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes in Boss. Edward Enfield in Alexander McQueen. Michaela Diamond and Carolina Herrera and jewelry by Pascal Bruni. Vera Wang, don't know who she is, in her own design. Georgina Chapman, not sure what the hell she's wearing, but whatever. Bradley Cooper and Tom Ford, Lily James, and Tamara Roth Couture. So there you have it right there. Jack Harlow, in custom Tommy Hilfiger, Olivia Rodrigo, and Tom Brown, Stephanie Stephanie Sue, in Valentino, Cardi B in Chapang Studio, Erica Badu in Marnie, um, Oliver Roostang, Roostang. Um, basically, oh man, not sure what he's wearing, but and Jared Leto, of course, age 51, paid homage to the late Karl Lagerfeld's cat Choupette at the 2023 Met Gala Monday night. The actor and musician, notoriously known for his outlandish Met costumes of past years, donned a full white furry cat character costume, only revealing he was underneath further down the carpet. The theme of this year's Costume Institute exhibition is Karl Lagerfeld, a line of beauty, and Leto's costume matches the real life Choupette's piercing blue eyes and brown and pink nose. He eventually took the costume off and posed for more pics in a black ensemble complete with a matching cape. Jeremy Pope and Balmain, Alexandra Daddario and Dior. Um, of course, obviously the played their cards right. The Kardashians made a grand appearance at the Met Gala this year, following allegations they wouldn't step foot on the red carpet. Kim wore a skimpy, form-fitting gown dripping in pearls, an ode to the iconic Chanel looks fashioned by Karl Lagerfeld, the evening's honoree. Um, I just wanted to feel glamorous, she said on the carpet, admitting she just wanted to have a good time. I took a shot before I came with my sister, said the first sister in the Kardashian Jenner family to make a gala appearance tonight. Stella McCarthy, and Aubrey Plaza, and Stella McCarthy, Tiana Taylor, and Tom Brown, Pedro Pascal, and Valentino, Viola Davis, and Valentino Harte Couture, Mary J. Blige, and Burberry, Lily Aldridge, and Oscar de la Renta, Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas and Valentino, Mark Jacobs and Paris Hilton and Mark Jacobs, Allison Williams and Pateau, Thames Fremont singer and Robert One, Alton Mason and Karl Lagerfeld, J Lo and Ralph Lauren, Miranda Kerr and Dior, and Devon Aoki and Jeremy Scott, Jodie Comer and Burberry, Janelle Monáe and Tom Brown, Cara Delevingne and Karl Lagerfeld Young Miami in Custom Act and One. Simone Porte, Jacquemus and Bad Bunny. Um, Jacquemus. Sabrina and Idris Alba and Gucci. Giselle Butchen sizzled as she arrived solo at the Met Gala on Monday night following her highly publicized divorce from Tom Brady last year. 42-year-old supermodel was in high spirits as she arrived at the event, making her first red carpet since the separation. Um, Butchin cheerfully spun around for the cameras in the vintage white Chanel column gown, which she first wore back in 2007 in a fashion editorial called Lagerfeld. The mother to added a white long feather jacket to complete her show-stopping look. Diddy in a custom Sean John, Kendall Jenner in Marc Jacobs, Gigi Hadid in doesn't say what she wore. Um, doesn't say what she wore, but um, anyway, I think that's it, man. I think that's it for this highlights of the Met Gala. All right, let's hang on a second. This some other stuff that I wanted to actually get to. Um let's see. Um hold on. All right, let's get to all right, let's get to some music releases. Ah man. Music releases for June. Let me get to that right now. Um, Forgive me, I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, sorry about that. Um, just a sec. I'll get back to it though, man. I don't know what's taking so long. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Now the name of the episode, by the way, in case you don't know, is called "You Like Tacos Plus Burritos on the Side," which is dedicated to National Burrito Day. All right, so let's get into it right here. Don't know what's going on here, but mm-hmm. Oh boy. Okay, wait a minute here. Okay, hold on a second. Just a sec. Okay, hold on. Before we get to National Burrito, yeah. Let's get to this though, man. Let's see. All right. Of course. I wasn't aware of this food holiday right here. So, National Burrito Day is celebrated on the first Thursday in April. On April 4th this year. The day celebrates everyone's appreciation for burritos. The Mexican dish is popular all over the world, but it has only been offered in American restaurants since the 1930s. Can you imagine a time where burritos didn't exist? Celebrate today's holiday with us by eating as many burritos as you want. We're not here to judge. And of course, National Burrito Day celebrates the Mexican wrap with delicious fillings on the first Thursday of April, which is April 4th of this year. Yeah, got it. We got that part. We understand that part though. Now, the history of National Burrito Day. Who doesn't love burritos? The Mexican dish is a national favorite, and everyone likes their burrito a certain way, with beans or meat, salsa, cheese, lettuce, sour cream, and vegetables. There's a debate on whether rice belongs in a burrito, which I've seen that before actually. The oldest mention, um, historical mention of a burrito appears in the dictionary of Mexicanism in 1895, meaning little donkey in, in Spanish. It's possible the term refers to the packs and bedrolls donkeys once carried. The definition explained that a burrito was rolled tortilla with meat or other food within. The dish first became popular in um, Guanajuato and Guerrero before its popularity moved northward to the United States. Modern burritos originated near Fresno and Stockton, California, before appearing on restaurant menus in the 1930s, starting at the El Cholo Spanish Cafe in Los Angeles. Recipes for the popular dish first appeared in 1934 in Erna Ferguson's Mexican cookbook. Burritos have changed over time. American burritos have many ingredients, while Mexican are only filled with meat and beans. The first frozen burrito was sold in 1964. Fried burritos are now affectionately known as chimichangas. Breakfast burritos were introduced in 1975 by Tia Sophia's in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The breakfast meal consists of a tortilla stuffed with bacon, potatoes, chili, and cheese. Taco Bell launched its own popular version of a breakfast burrito in 2014. Burritos can be enjoyed by nearly everyone, making it one of the most widely eaten Mexican dishes across the globe. National Burrito Day gives you the perfect opportunity to fill your hungry belly with your favorite Mexican flavors. And yes, the timeline, yes, from 1895. Book of Burritos. Burritos are mentioned in the dictionary. I already got that part. Um, I already mentioned that. Um, yeah. So, oh my gosh, Waffle Day. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm gonna do that topic next year, man. I'm not doing it right. I'm not doing it this year. I wasn't aware of this. And I wasn't even aware of National Chocolate Fish Day, so I'm gonna leave that for a future episode. All right, so oh my gosh, man, I can't keep up with all this. Anyway, with savory fillings such as chicken and beef and a medley of other ingredients such as vegetables, rice, and cheese, burritos are flavor packed and loved by many. Not only this, the condiments, guacamole, salsa, and pico de gallo have a separate fan base. Traditions for the day are to enjoy as many variations of the burrito as possible. Get togethers are hosted with burritos on the menu, and different meat, vegetable, and cheese options are available. Authentic Mexican burritos have thin and small tortillas, whereas the shebra the the shebrada burritos are on the spicier side. Woo! Wow. People try different types of burritos and even go out of their comfort zone by trying burritos containing obscure ingredients such as French fries and sushi. Oh shit! Burritos have also have variations: the burrito bowl and um, chimichanga, which equally get attention on National Burrito Day. Many Mexican restaurants and eateries have special offers on burritos and or limited addition flavors to celebrate the day. And I'm not even gonna go. Well, I'm not even gonna go by the numbers though, man. Yes, I'm not even gonna go by the numbers. So this is like numbers and stuff. All right. I'm not even going by the numbers actually, but y'all can look at the numbers on nationaltoday.com/National Burrito Day, and you're gonna see by the numbers. You can look at that for yourselves. Um, and let's see. Of course, obviously how to celebrate and how to celebrate as far as fun activities. You can make burritos, host a party, visit your local family restaurant. Um, it's a popular American cuisine. It has more options than you think. It's also popular in Mexico. Fast food chains love it. It's also a street food. And yeah, it inspires arguments like no other day. They are infinitely customizable. No forks are required. No need we say more. Yeah. Um. So yes. So yes. Yes. 2023 of April 6th. No. Yeah. 2023 April 6th. 2024 April 4th of next year. April 3rd. 2025. So there you have it right there. Okay. Now we go to the music. The music releases that I was supposed to get to, um, which I do apologize. I don't know what happened with my browser, but let's get into it though. Hold on, let's see. Um, where is it? Okay. Um, let's see. All right, there it is. Hold on. Okay. So according to the Insider, we got some releases that happened in June. So obviously, the biggest album, seven biggest albums dropping in July 2023. Taylor Swift, Mahalia, and Blur all have projects dropping. Another anticipated release comes courtesy of Post Malone, who is releasing Austin on July 28th. Of course, Taylor Swift, Speak Now is okay, July 7th. Rita Ora, You and I, July 14th. Ma, um, Mahalia IRL, July 14th. Cool in the Gang, People Just Want to Have Fun, July 14th. And of course, the Barbie movie soundtrack, July 21st. Blur, The Ballad of Darren, also coming out July 21st. And of course, Post Malone's album Austin, July 28th. Yes. All right. So, okay. I think we. Oh, wait. The June releases that actually happened. Yeah. So the June releases, of course, obviously. Let me just go over it. Actually, so the June releases: Moneybag Yo, Hard to Love, Tootsie, um, Najor, already came out June 2nd. Of course, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack already came out June 2nd. Um, Junie, um, Junie Shittums. Oh shit. Um, not sure who that is, but obviously, let's see. Terminology, the Summer Pack, June 2nd. X rated, A Prayer in Hell. Bobby Fishscale, Local Joker. Um, Boosie Badass, best album of 2023. Um, yeah, the deluxe edition, of course, Metro Boomin, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack already came out June 5th. Vic Mensa 93 to 23, Victor Playlist. Uh, Babytron 6, Kenny Mason 6, Doughboy Beezy, Static Selector, Round Trip. And of course, you have Sexy Red, Hood, Hottest Princess, Boldy James. Boldy James and Chan Hayes, Prisoner of Circumstance. Fat Trail, Nightmare on E Street 2. Raw 49, For God 2. Raw Swish, 9 shots in the Ruger. Sean Smith, Hope Dealer. Wiz Khalifa, Sela. Uh, Wiz Khalifa, Sia, excuse me. Solfago, Go Plus. Lil B, Bitch Mob, the album. Killer Mike, Michael. Uh, Cool Keith, Black Elvis 2. Mike Dimes, Texas Boy, the legendary Trackster, Chicago. Hit Boy, Surf or Drown 2. BK the Ruler, Love Nirvana. HD been dope. What can they say? Ombre, Who's Loving You? Skiller Baby, We Eat the Most. Um, Tailband Duda, Tailband versus Duda. Um, Icy Twat. Have mercy on us. Um, KG Jorge, Baby Drill Madman, Coy Leray, Coy came out. Young Thug, Business is Business. Key Glaucoma 2. Baby Money, Young Nigga Old School. Central City, Big Frida. Lil Papa, Half Man, Half Vamp. Danny Towers and DJ Scheme, Safe House. Kenzo B, Top 2, Not 2. Uh, Theophilus, London, TL. Um, and Baby, Fishscale Way, Mac Miller, Watching Movies with the Sound Off, 10th anniversary. Uh, Young Thug, Business is Business, Metro's version. Currency and Harry Fraud, Vices. Little Uzi Vert, Pink Tape. V's, Ganger. Rilo Rodriguez, Ben 1. Father, Husband 2. Coda the Friend. Protea. Q the Fool, Home Detection. Alchemist, Flying High. Terrace, Martin, Fine Tune. Tubi Lou, Decent. And of course, The Weekend, Diado, Volume 1 soundtrack. Okay. 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 So Charlamagne the God and Desus Mero hosted the Daily Show. Okay, let's get into it. Um, all right, yes, so so they've been hosting the Daily Show since Trevor Noah's departure from the Daily Show in December 2022. The late night program has been a plethora of guest hosts, including Chelsea Handler, D.L. Hughley, Leslie Jones, Wanda Sykes, Marlon Wayans, Roy Wood Jr., and more. Now, Leonard, Charlamagne the God, McKelvey, and Daniel Desus Nice Baker will show off their satirical commentary skills this May and June. Comedy Central recently announced the Breakfast Club and Hell of a Week host would be taking over the news series beginning May 15th and Desus starting June 26th, which already happened. Who do you think I'm pissed off the week I do? Um, the Daily Show. I need all Breakfast Club AM and the Brilliant Idiots listeners to get tickets to be um to be into the audience. Who plans on not watching? Let's discuss. See God wrote on Instagram announcing his hosting gig. Desus took to his Instagram as well to let fans know that he's beyond excited to be back on your screens this summer. Shouts to the Daily Show for letting by Coastal Desus cook. um Man, I didn't really get aware of this. Both media mavens have a knack for sharing their own unhinged commentary as Charlamagne just wrapped up his latest season of Comedy Central's Hell of a Week, formerly known as The God's Honest Truth, and also hosted the MTV2 series Uncommon Sense in the past. As for Desus, he spent 2 seasons alongside with media personality the kid Mero on their joint Viceland talk show before moving to Showtime in 2019 for their Bodega Boys podcast. The two split from working together last year. Now, the two will be embarking on a journey that Trevor Noah has left behind. The South African comedian joined the Daily Show host as host in 2015. I realized that after the 7 years, my time is up. He said during the show's last episode with him as host, but in the most beautiful way. Honestly, I loved hosting the show. It's been one of my greatest challenges. It's been one of my greatest joys. The 38-year-old added, I have loved trying to figure out how to make people laugh even when the stories are particularly shitty on the worst days. We laughed together, we cried together, but after 7 years, I felt like it's time. Um, Comedy Central also released a statement following his departure, which read, we are grateful to Trevor for our amazing partnership over the past 7 years. With no timetable for his departure, we're working together on the next steps. And as we look ahead, we're excited for the next chapter in the 25 plus year history of The Daily Show as it continues to redefine culture through sharp and hilarious social commentary, helping audiences make sense of the world around them. Make sure I already mentioned, so May 15th to 18th already happened, June 26th, 29th. I guess you could rewatch it and stuff on Comedy Central's uh Comedy Central's page or whatever, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, let me uh let me just go to uh all right. Now I want to go to let me see. All right, I want to go to the new sculpture by Brooklyn Bridge. Let me see if I can find it. New sculpture of the Brooklyn Bridge. Let me see if I can find it. New sculpture of the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm not sure about that, but Ah, man. Um, New sculpture of the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm not sure exactly, but not sure exactly, but ah, there it is. Okay, so um, this is crazy. Okay, so let's see. Brooklyn Bridge Park has a new public sculpture that references the border wall. Blah blah blah. Okay, so um. Let's see. Anyone can walk through this towering new sculpture in Brooklyn Bridge Park that shouts in all caps land. But anyone cannot walk through certain lands, especially at border crossings. That juxtaposition comes into stark relief at this recently installed 30-foot sculpture that simultaneously evokes pop art and questions the legacy of colonization. Um, okay, let's all right. All right, let me just skip through all this. Okay, let me just skip through all this stuff, man. Hold on. Okay, so the work questions the concept of the border walls which cut across land and water, restricting access to the migratory routes necessary for various life forms. This piece, hold on a second. Yes, this piece, hold on a second. Okay, this piece, this new piece of public art looks similar to the iconic pop art Love statue, but upon closer examination, the sculpture reads land repeated, blah, blah. I already read that part. Anyway, yes, this piece, however, defeats the purpose of a wall as a barrier to entry, instead focusing on the indigenous connection with the land and mutual sustainability that transcends borders. Indigenous care for land and community is rooted in connection based on mutual sustainability rather than nationalism or capitalism. This perspective um, always embodies a deep respect for any life beyond any single generation. In every language, there is land. Questions barriers to land, which directly reflects barriers to love for land, community, and future generations. Galen has said in a statement. Um, yeah. All right. So I'm gonna leave it right here. I wanna get to some fun activities to do for the 4th of July. Some fun places for people to do for the 4th of July, which is tomorrow. Let me just get to Los Angeles. Um, let's get to Los Angeles. So there's some stuff to do for Los Angeles. If you're in the Los Angeles area, this is for you. LA Galaxy versus LAFC, Rose Bowl fireworks. America Fest at the Rose Bowl has been squashed due to budget reasons, but this MLS match certainly isn't a bad substitute thanks to a bit of inclement weather at the start of the season. The LA Galaxy and LAFC will now play in Pasadena on July 4th, which is tomorrow, with a post-match fireworks show shot off from the adjacent Brookside golf course. Melrose Rooftop Theater, West Hollywood Ultra Chic Rooftop Bar LP is showing. What else? Independence Day. It's 4th of July. A fresco screening. Cinespia cemetery screenings. It isn't summer in LA until the first cemetery screenings bring hordes of movie lovers to Hollywood Forever, totting folding chairs, picnic baskets, snack spreads, and lots of booze. And for the fourth, Cinesphere is screening Pee Wee's Big Adventure with a fireworks finale. And of course, 4th of July fireworks in Marina Del Rey. Yes, there's something about watching fireworks over the ocean every year in Marina Del Rey. Fireworks explode over the Marina Channel, and spectators gather all over to watch at Burton Chase Park or Fisherman's Village, as well as from Marina's Mother's Beach waterfront hotels and restaurants and on boats. Fireworks start at 9 p.m. and usually last for about 20 minutes. Arrive early to areas county lots. So you can go to timeout.com/Los Angeles/things to do best 4th of July events. If you're in the LA area, go to your laptops. You can check it out for yourself. And of course, um, event LA events, activities, and things to do. You can check that out too. Um, of course, places to watch the fireworks in New York. Um, so this is pertaining to the Macy's 4th of July fireworks. So they'll be launched in the East River, centered around Midtown Manhattan between East 26th and East 40th Streets. So what is the Macy's 4th of July fireworks show? Over 60,000 shells are launched off 5 different barges along the East River. The extravaganza lasts 25 minutes and features, according to Macy's itself, a host of shells and numerous effects in 30 colors and shapes. New effects this year include a wild, wide waving flag created by a combination of red, white, and blue palm and strobing shells, and sunflower rings, red stop sign shaped effects, and new ghost pyro that turns from one color to another. Okay, so this year's pyrotechnic design will feature the most dynamic collection of animated shells ever launched during Macy's annual spectacle, Macy's said in its press release. The resulting pyrotechnic power will span a mile across the East River in the multi-layer presentation, reaching dramatic heights of 1,000 feet to the water's edge. Okay, so okay, so let's see. Let's see. Let me see. So here are the locations actually. So other than okay, so in Manhattan, First Avenue and East 42nd Street, First Avenue and East 34th Street, uh, First Avenue and East 20th Street, in Queens, Gantry Plaza State Park, in Brooklyn, Newtown Barge Park, Transmitter Park, and Marsha P. Johnson State Park. That's also included in the location as well. So the Macy's 4th of July fireworks begins at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on NBC. That's tomorrow night. If you plan on watching it on TV, go to your local channels, your local cable channel to watch. And if you are not in the New York area, you can check your local listings as well. Um, so there you have it right there. Oh, wait. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see if there's any yes, so I think I covered this. All right. That's timeout.com slash things to do for the 4th of July in New York City and Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Queens. I suggest you get there early so you don't miss your chance to have a great view to watch the fireworks. And of course, in case anybody's wondering about the whistling fireworks, it's the rockets. All right, I forget the name of it, but I'll get back to y'all on that one. And yes, there we have it right there, folks. Man, um this has been a major great episode right here. And let's get to our very last segment, which includes hold on a second, which includes street choices on the go. Forgive me if I didn't get a chance to get to munchies and drinks. I'll save that for next time. So stream choices on the go it is. Let's do this. All right, folks. If you like what you heard in today's episode, and as far as like the places that I just mentioned to you to watch the fireworks, whether you are in the LA area of California or the New York area of Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Queens, like I said, try to get there. If you plan on going to watch the fireworks in face to face, you might want to get there early so you don't miss your chance to get a good view of the fireworks. Because I must tell you, it's going to be crowded. All right. So if you go to the link in bio, of course, you can follow this. You can follow the show right here on Facebook and Instagram, off the Meat Rat Chainz New York podcast, alongside with my sports platform, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast and Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, as well as myself, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Turn your notifications and be sure to keep an eye on when each episode is going to be dropping. So without further ado, let's go to where you can listen to the episodes. So it's Audacity, Audible, Audio Burst, Amazon Music Breaker, Bullhorn FM, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM, Podcast Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podbay, Podframe, Podhound, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podvine, Spotify for podcasters, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the number one app for radio, video, and podcasts. Yeah, radio, music, radio, and podcasts. Excuse me. You don't need a debit card or credit card to download iHeartRadio or any of the apps whatsoever. So be sure to follow my New York Avenue podcast that's also on there. Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast and the Sports Edition show. Yeah, the Sports Edition show. Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast is also on there as well. And of course, do the same for YouTube right here. Make sure you grab the subscribe button on 3 of my YouTube channel pages, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the sports YouTube channel page, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, and G Money Stacks 555 on where you see the New York episodes on there as well. So let me make sure that I mention. Make sure you leave a like and a comment along with the episodes. You can donate whatever amount of money you can donate whatever amount of money to support the podcast on my PayPal, on my Cash App, whatever it is, man. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you download the episodes, share the episodes, and of course, share the episodes. Share the videos, actually. Yes, share the videos. Listen, stream, watch these episodes, and tell a friend to another friend. And of course, word of mouth is important. Spread the word to everybody. And of course, be sure to share the link that says Linktree / G Money Stacks 555 alongside with the podcast with your husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, the people you cool with from work and everywhere else where you meet new people. I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka the Greg in here. Thank you very much for listening and tuning in and rocking with me on episode 273. And I do appreciate you guys for tuning in and everything else in between. And remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. You want to make sure that you find and look for something, look for your niche, find your voice, and of course that clicks to you mentally, creatively, physically, and spiritually, that gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. And remember, you don't need validation from other people. You need to validate yourself. All right. Nobody's gonna validate you but you. You don't need permission from other people. You know what I'm saying? Moral support is what really matters here. So I'm up out of here, man. Thank you very much for listening and enjoy your 4th of July celebration. Be careful out there, be safe, and of course, you know, be aware of the the the, the service changes of the subway lines and bus lines and all that other stuff. Check your local listings on your apps and everything to know what's going on with the train lines changes and bus line changes, all right? And get there early to watch the fireworks. I'm out of here. Peace out. One love. Good night and enjoy the rest of your 4th of July weekend. Nighty night.